Hello my friend, welcome back to Toyota Maintenance YouTube channel. I just performed on this truck mass airflow sensor cleaning, which you can see in different video on this YouTube channel, but the main problem I will say here is super dirty throttle body. If you wanna see how I do this maintenance service, stay with me in this video. And I begin that with removing of that engine cover. It's right here, you just pop it up and then remove it this way. Right, it's nicely off. Let me show you some signs which immediately gives you idea, obviously, to go and check the throttle body condition, and that's why I did that. And of course you will see in a few moments how dirty the throttle body is. This intake pipe is held in place, right, this section with these two clamps. It's a 10mm socket, so I will go ahead and loosen these two clamps. One here and the second one is right here. And because I did that, I should be able to remove this part of the intake and set it aside. Hop and hop. I don't want to pull too much on anything. I don't need to disconnect it, so I just set it aside. And that's a maintenance which is many times overlooked by many technicians. This truck was regularly serviced at the dealership. There is brand new air filter here, right? And they change the engine oil and do other stuff. But I guarantee you that nobody thought of popping this air intake pipe off and checking the throttle body, because this amount of mess didn't happen just in 5 or 10,000 miles. It took longer time. Now sadly, some technicians or car owners maybe will take this cleaner right now and start blasting this throttle body right here as it sits in the vehicle, and all that junk and that fluid will nicely flow in the intake. I greatly disagree with this method, and what I will do, I will disconnect the throttle body from intake and clean it actually from both sides. So here I go. I will start with unclipping this electronic connector. Alright, and then I continue with removing these 4 screws, and that will finally give me chance to separate it from the intake. And those 4 bolts are also 10mm bolts. This is the 3rd one, and as I said, there is also one more, the last one right here. I will take these bolts away and set them on the side, and now I should be finally able to undo and separate the throttle body from that plastic intake. And you just saw it, it nicely gave up. And here we are. You will be also able to see how bad and dirty it is on the backside. And that's one of other reasons why everybody should take time and clean it properly and clean all this. Of course, I will carefully clean this area later too, and I can see just separating it, a bunch of dirt, which you can see everywhere, it's pretty nasty, fell inside. So I continued with gently and carefully removing this like a strainer or whatever, which includes this gasket. See that dust? I will not leave it there. I will clean that with the rag because I want to have it perfect. And of course you want to make absolutely sure that nothing falls inside. And I could be cleaning this here But since I really want to show you this whole throttle body, I will clamp these two hoses which are circulating the coolant and disconnect them from that throttle body, so I can put it on the bench and show it to you in detail. And you can see with me there was absolutely minimal spillage of that coolant, and of course that will be all caught by these racks. And look how perfect access to all these parts suddenly I have here, that will allow me to clean this perfectly. Look at that mess. And the problem is that the dirt is basically obstructing space, which is created there on purpose around that butterfly. And I am back to my protective glasses and the gloves, and the show may begin. Yep, you should see the detail. I will show you later how much dirt already fell off just this gasket. It's amazing how this was neglected. And finally I will start cleaning the throttle body. Unbelievable what is flowing out of there. It's absolutely incredible. I personally always use some white and clean rag that perfectly shows me, as when it was clean, it shows me how much dirt I removed from it. If I need to move that butterfly valve, I do it very carefully because it's obviously connected to the motor, electric motor, which is inside here. So if I do that, if I feel like I need to do that, I'm very careful about touching that and making sure that I don't damage anything. Now, looking in detail, you see that gray stuff around the butterfly and also down there. It looks like somebody painted on that entire butterfly and also these surfaces. I didn't see this before, I don't know why it's there, but that will stay. So here you can finally see the chunk which spray took off. See that horrible dirt which was in some areas on the throttle body. Right, I use this was for later, for the cleaner level. And let's go and look on throttle body. So here is the clean throttle body, and I would like you to focus your attention above that butterfly valve and below. That was the area basically which was plugged by that dirt, and that area is basically responsible for engine idle. I think this is a way better way to show you that space. You see that light areas, the air goes below and above. So we did great, this is perfectly clean, but it will create a problem right now for us. That dirt was building there very slowly, and the computer was able very slowly made adjustments for that idle. And what will happen right now, we will correctly install it back in that truck. You will go on and start up the engine, and the engine will be idling super high. And I want to warn you about it, and just make sure that you don't freak out about it if you perform it on your own vehicle. And that's absolutely normal, because that computer, that ECM, needs some time to relearn these new conditions of the airflow in the engine. So I have installed everything nicely back, right? And I would like to show you that high idle. This engine is cold, but I already started it once for a brief period of time after I cleaned the MAF sensor. And the idle was somewhere like a 1200. Let's see what will happen right now after throttle body cleaning. Oh yeah, typical. Very typical, and this is what I wanted to show you. If you ever do it on your own Toyota, just not freak out, because this is absolutely normal. And this ECM, that computer which is taking care of the engine, has to relearn these new conditions. And in general, that procedure for a computer, it takes like few cycles. So if you use the car or truck few times, it should settle down. I saw extreme cases that it took days, that it will finally go back to the correct idle. I am here only few minutes and I can see it's slowly trying to go down to the normal idle RPM. So my friend, thank you for watching, and make sure you are subscribed, because I have way more videos about Toyotas coming your way soon. I will see you in next video.